Let's look how Pythagorean theorem looks like in action. Your first and most important job is find out which side actually is your C. If this was not in here, and you had to figure out what is the measure of this side. Well, I know right away that C, the hypotenuse, is always across from the 90-degree angle. This is going to be my C, the longest side of the triangle. Then I have to write my Pythagorean theorem, which says a squared plus b squared equals c squared, right? Well, if this is C, this is going to be A and B, and it doesn't matter if you switch those two around, as long as you know this one. Then you will substitute in. Well, A is 3, right? 3 squared. B is 4. 4 squared equals, we don't know what C is, it's still C squared. Now I'm going to evaluate. 3 squared is 3 times 3, right? 9 plus 4 squared, 4 times 4, 16, equals C squared. Let's add these up. 9 plus 16 is 25, equals C squared. Now I am not done. I don't want to know what C squared is. I just want to know the C, just the one simple C. That means I have to get rid of the exponent, right? The square. What undoes square? What will undo exponents is the radical, right? Because I want to get rid of this. The only way to do it is take a square root of the square. It will cancel it out. And I will be left with C only. If I take the square root of one side, I have to take a square root of the other side. Square root of 25 is 5, and 5 equals C. The measure of the hypotenuse is 5, and we talk about inches, right? Or C equals 5. Now let's see if I give you one more problem that looks like this, and I ask you, what is the missing side measure? And I didn't tell you anything else, right? If this is all you would get. First step first, identify your hypotenuse. And please remember that the hypotenuse is always going to be across from the 90-degree angle, right? So hypotenuse is this one over here. This is going to be my C. Then I have A and B. Now I have to write down my Pythagorean theorem, which is A squared plus B squared equals C squared. And I'm going to substitute in. Do I know A? No, I do not. I do know what B is. So if I don't know A, I'll keep it. A squared plus B squared is 2.1 squared equals C is 2.9 squared. At this point, I'm going to take my calculator, right? I don't know what A is still, so it's still an A squared plus 2.1 squared. So I'm going to put 2.1, and this in here, x to the second power, that's the square button. So x squared is, 2.1 squared is 4.41 equals 2.9 squared is, let's see, 2.9 squared is 8.41. Well, I am not done. I'm trying to solve for A, right? A. I need to know that. To get A on its own, I have to subtract the 4.41 from both sides first. Now I will be left with A squared equals 4. And my final and the last step, I want to get rid of the square, right? What will undo square? What will cancel it out so that I have just the A on its own? It's a square root, right? The square root cancels out the square. What I do one side, I'll do on the other side. Square root of 4 equals 2. So the measure of the leg in here is actually 2 centimeters. If you want to look, please keep in mind, hypotenuse, right? The C is the longest side of the triangle, which it is. It's 2.9, right? And the leg is 2, and another leg is 2.1. Thank you.